Hello there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. I've just received a couple of packages this morning, so this kind of brings together quite a big haul. Some orders that I made a while ago, and they finally turned up. Actually, one of them was not as that long ago, it was only the other day, and that's turned up quicker than I thought. So, it's a couple of Blu-rays, and mostly 4Ks, all with slips. Also, because of who I got it from, can you see that? Little Shameless badge. So yes, I made an order from Shameless. I've already got a few of their titles, they're up there somewhere. I ordered Torso. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't opened any of them yet. And a Video Nasty, which is a Section 2 Video Nasty, Killer Nun. Now apparently this is not out until the 15th, so I've got it rather early. So what I might do is a video on it at some point, very soon. Now, a band I've never seen before, but I do quite like, and they recently did a final tour. I do that because they're out on tour again, with a different lineup. I think basically the guitarist was getting to the point where he couldn't really tour anymore. But anyway, a few years ago, Motley Crue ended their career. And this is a 4K from one of the shows in Los Angeles. So I look forward to watching that. And it's nice to see that it's on 4K. Now, a lot of us have been buying these three titles. Obviously, one of them isn't out here yet in the UK. Doesn't come out until the end of April. But I do have the other two, and they are James Cameron's True Lies, which I can do a comparison with because I still have my DVD of it, and a film I'd only ever seen once before, The Abyss. Now, I have watched the theatrical version of this. I understand that the extended version is much better and explains a lot more. I can tell why the BBFC did not want this in the UK without getting it cut, and obviously James Cameron doesn't want it released cut at all, and rightly so. But the rat scene, where basically the rat is put in a solution which is supposed to be breathable, and you know, the rat survives. I don't know if it did in filming or if they just edited it that way, because I don't know if this solution actually exists. I think it might do. Basically, it's supposed to fill your lungs and it's oxygen rich, so you breathe from that essentially, rather than inhaling oxygen. And that's why this The Abyss has not been released here in the UK. But you know, you can import it from the US, no problem. A film that I thought I'd sort of missed out on with the slip anyway, until I found it on eBay for a really good price. I only paid £27 for this, and that includes postage as well. And it is the 4K of Rain Man. Such a great film. Been a long time since I've seen this. I think I've still got the DVD somewhere. If I find it, then I can do a picture comparison, can't I? But really looking forward to sitting and watching this one. So yes, you don't know if you look, if you don't look, do you? So you have to check for these things. So last weekend, I took myself to, over the Easter holidays, I took myself to Reading, mostly to see a mate of mine. But of course we ended up in HMV. And there was a purpose for me to go to HMV. I was making an order, which I'll get to in a minute, on Wow HD, and very nearly added one of these titles, but didn't, because I thought, well, I'll wait, only to find out it had been released in the UK. I just expected it, for some reason, to only be a US release, and thankfully it wasn't, and it was Primal Fear, with Edward Norton and Richard Gere. This is a brilliant film. I think I must have got rid of the DVD a while ago, and maybe because I found out it was coming out in 4K, and or I just have it somewhere and I can't find it. But so that was one. I have not seen this one before, but once I saw it on the shelf with the slip on, I wasn't going to leave Contagion there. It's a really nice slip too. Then I wasn't going to spend too much, but I saw the whole sort of 2 for 30, and who doesn't want to turn down 4Ks for £15 each. You know, I go on about not having a problem with the price of 4K and Blu-ray, because I don't at all, but it doesn't mean to say I don't get them in the sale when I can. So the first one was Meg 2. Haven't seen it yet, but I quite like the first one, so got to have this one in the collection, haven't I? And a film that I'm not actually a big fan of, but I know a lot of you are. I know its stance in the horror, in the context of the horror world, and how iconic it is. So I'm hoping on a 4K watch that I will enjoy it more, and that is The Exorcist. So yes, we've got those two in 2 for 30. Now, so the Shameless order, and they need to learn from this, turned up in this. I thought this was an eBay package, but when I opened it and my 2 Shameless Blu-rays were in there, I was like, okay, fair enough. Now, I know some people don't order from Wow HD because they don't like the packaging, but obviously if you order enough titles, maybe 3 or more, it won't come in that horrible corrugated packaging, but it will come in a box. Now, I took a little bit of a risk on some of these with the slips, but I was very pleased to open the box and find they all have the slips. So let me extricate them from the box. And here we have another film I've never seen before, starring Harrison Ford, and it is K-19, Widowmaker. So this is a Shout Select version, part of Shout Factory, Screen Factory, all that kind of thing. Then we have an actual Shout Factory film. Annoyingly, my wife bought me this for, we were in a shop and we saw it on Blu-ray and she bought it for me. But I thought, you know what, I always want these films on the best version possible, and it is the remake of Carrie. Now I know my double bill videos are not very popular because my recent one, The Day the Earth Stood Still, barely got any views, but fair enough. I'm not going to stop doing them because that's what the channel's based on, and you know, you don't shy away from what you originate the channel on, as far as I'm concerned. So this, along with the original Carrie, will get a double bill at some point. Once a standard version of the 4K comes out, because I have the box set from Arrow up there, but that's just a Blu-ray one. And when I've got a Blu-ray box set, I just get the standard 4K. Then we've got a title from Lightyear. Never really heard of them before, but I saw this was getting a release. I've got it up there somewhere in a green box. Yeah, I can't see it. A very murky green amaret case, and it is The Return of Swamp Thing, starring Heather Locklear. And it does follow on from the Swamp Thing, which I also have on 4K with a slip, so that's cool. So they've both got slips on, and that's good. So now 3 Kino Lorba titles. Now this first one I actually wish I'd swapped out for the SKU of Leviathan, but I was, you know, trying to be a bit conscious of what I was spending, so I filled up a basket and then I took out things that I thought were a bit less relevant, and for some reason I picked this over the Leviathan, and I should have gone it round the other way. No harm done, because I wanted this anyway, and it is Gunfight at OK Corral, a Western. So Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. Then we got Denzel Washington film, also starring Meryl Streep and Liev Schreiber, and it is The Manchurian Candidate. Now I believe this is a remake, but kind of made modern. Am I right in thinking that the original was based on a true story? I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but Kino and Lorba have also done the original, which I might have to get at some point. And then the last one was a great film that I got on DVD with the slipcover back in the day, probably from something like MVC. I don't know if you remember that shop. People in America won't know what that is, but it was another UK retailer called MVC, music, video, and something or other. Anyway, I still have the DVD somewhere, and it is Changing Lanes. So hopefully, if I can find it, I can do a video comparison and a review on this. It's a very good film, and the title's partly metaphoric, but it's also, you know, there is cars on the front, and that sort of thing. So there you go. That's my haul, or some of it. There's still quite a bit to turn up. I've got some titles from '88, which I'm really struggling with turning up, and I did order 3 titles, and they were the Amityville Horror, and it was the web store exclusive version, Witchfinder General 4K and Blood on Satan's Claw 4K. Now the package turned up, but only 1 SKU was in it, and the package was mostly open. It wasn't tampered with by Royal Mail because it was never sealed properly in the first place, because there is bubble wrap stuck to the seal on the box. It's actually down there on the floor, but I'm not going to go and get it to show you. I could put a picture up, can't I? And yeah, so I got a hold of 88, and basically they've sent out 2 replacements after I proved to them that you know, they needed to see a picture of the package and everything. And I'm still waiting on those, so I don't know what's going on. So not only did I order another 6 titles from 88, actually some of them haven't been released yet, so that's why I'm waiting on those. Silly me. But some of them have, so maybe they're going to put them all in one package. But the other 2 that you know, I didn't get in the package haven't turned up yet for some reason. They are in transit. I've got the shop app that helps you track orders and things. So I don't know what's going on there. There's Arrow. There's some titles I ordered from them which are out, and they keep telling me, sorry, there's been a delay with your order, it hasn't been shipped yet. So I don't know what's going on there. So I should have had a lot more titles essentially, and I got a few more things from eBay. So there you go. Let me do the old holdy uppy thing, and if I can, so there you go. And of course my little badge. Anyway, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure you set the notifications to all, and then you won't miss any of my videos. I've been a bit slow of late. Yeah, that's because I've been going through a few things, but you know, I'm in a much better place at the moment, so fingers crossed I can keep that up. And the next video I think will possibly be a 39 video with bumper, and we are on House on the Edge of the Park. Neither of us have seen it, so it'll be a first time watch, and that'll be good, but that'll be on my channel. Anyway, before I waffle, take it easy and I'll see you soon.